Welcome to Drill Down Earnings. Quick look at the earnings from IBM. Stock is up. The results weren't great. Let's take a look why. I might be the right person to ask. I'm the Chief Market Strategist for Epistrophy Capital Research. Cory Johnson, Q4 earnings from this company. It was kind of a miss. Revenues of $11.6 billion, only a little bit better than the estimates. Earnings per share of $3.15, less than what was expected. But when we dig into the business here and take a look at the actual numbers, here's what we saw. Sales hung in there up 2% on a year-over-year basis here. But they talked a lot on the conference call about what's happening in their software business and what's happening with AI and how that's going to change what we see in consulting. So let's look at it. So the EBIT margins, operating margins, not great, 21%, kind of on a year-over-year basis, kind of where they were a year ago. But the mix is shifting towards software. We've seen that for a long time for this company. Helped by the fact that consulting has been getting worse. Consulting is still a big concern, 30% of revenues for IBM, but software now at 45%. But when consulting falters, it's bad for IBM, and it has been faltering, really in a long-term slide for the last 2 years. But during the conference call, well, they said that it's been fading with the other units. They said it's actually going to get a lot better, and it's going to get better because of AI. So let's step aside from that, come back to that in a second, but let's look at the software business. Their biggest business, because of Red Hat, up 10% year over year. Again, their biggest business growing really strong. But when they talked about what consulting is about to do, that was really bullish for the company. And so the stock traded up on the print and continued to trade up all day. And indeed, up 13% for the day, one of the best years they've had in decades, and 37% for the year, about 50% better than the S&P 500, pretty good. But again, the notion that customers are coming to IBM and saying, help us figure out what the heck do with AI could be good as big business for IBM. It hasn't been yet, but they said it's starting to happen, and that's going to turn consulting, which could turn the whole business. Here's what CEO Arvind Krishna had to say.
And the piece that most people have not been paying attention to, I want to point out, is in the Red Hat family. Both Red Hat for getting models deployed on a single server with GPUs, as well as what we are now going to be doing with our Neural Magic acquisition on how do you optimize and get the most effective use of the hardware using Red Hat. And then when you have large deployments, leveraging OpenShift for AI deployment, are the final rounding out of the products. Look, to be candid, LLMs will infuse many, many other things. But the products that are called out are the ones where we count it as direct AI products and directly driving the business.
All right, what's it all mean? What's your big drill down earnings takeaway and the one number that tells you a whole lot, the drill down earnings bite? Yeah, I've got that for you. So IBM Q4 earnings, the big numbers to take away. Of course, revenue is so very important for this company, and it was up only 2% to about $17 billion. But I think the most important number here, the one number that tells you a whole lot, really is the software business. The software business did, and here's the number, $7,924 million in the quarter, growing at a 10% clip. That's good news for IBM, because as long as the software is working, and then they can turn the consulting business, boy, wouldn't that be exciting for Big Blue. All right, thanks for checking out Drill Down Earnings. I'm Cory Johnson. Follow us on all the socials. Subscribe to us. Check us out on X at Cory TV or Drill Down Pod at TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube.